people, it's not that they don't have vision. It's that their vision doesn't allow them to do what they want to do. For example, they can read large print, but they can't read regular print. So for them, video magnification may be the answer. Anything I put under here is going to get larger.
Oh, I like that.
Okay? And this happens to be in true color mode right now. True color is when you see color for color what's there. Okay? So think about it. The person who wants to see pictures of their grandchildren. People generally don't want to see their children, but they have a real special need to see grandchildren. This might be something that they could use. Now, maybe I don't see this color best. I can do an enhanced mode, or I can reverse the video if that gives me a better, clearer view. I can get it extremely large. Again, I'm up to reading letters, and this particular font has dots in it, so it's not a good solid letter. But I'll bring it back down. So and then I have to get used to reading a moving image. Let me grab a book. Probably will do a little bit better.
Mine has that big old CRT screen, and it's supposed to move around, and heaven forbid you decide it's going to work better in another room of your house because you had to haul that, all its components. It was not fun, not pleasant at all.
They're heavy.
Yes. Moving that out of the door, yeah, not fun.
This is just a regular book like anybody would go to the library or bookstore and buy. But say you wanted to read it and not wait for it to come out through the library for the blind and physically handicapped. This would be a way to do that. When I do evaluations on these devices for our counselors, I ask people to bring with them a bag that they've just dropped things in over the course of a week or so. What have you tried to read that you couldn't read that really just frustrated you? Okay? And what generally is in that bag when they get here are things that came in the mail, the church bulletin, a lot of times, newspapers. A lot of people have found ways around newspapers, or they don't read them as much.
Right.
So, and newspapers are really good if somebody can cut something out and send it to you. That's really good. Versus you get a paper this thick and then you got to fold it and find where you want to be. So, but basically this allows you, anything you put under, you can see larger. So, if you were on a special diet of some kind, you probably wouldn't be eating any ravioli. But anyway. But say you needed to keep up with sodium. We'll back off of this. I thought I turned that off. And I can tell the sodium content. That's 40% of your daily allowance in one serving of this. Okay? If you're on a low-fat diet, it's got 9 grams of fat. If you're doing the carb game, it's 35 minus 3. But it allows you to know the contents. More and more people are being concerned about, what's in it. Tomatoes, water, tomato puree. It doesn't like my hand being under there. So you can do that. What if it's a medicine bottle? The trick here is always finding where the, there it is. So getting it to read. Warnings for external use only. When using this product, do not apply to wounds or damaged skin. Have you ever noticed when you get a prescription, give you these 2 or 3 pages worth of things to go with it, and it's in little print. So things like that. These are referred to as read-write machines because with patience and practice, you can learn to write under them. A good way to do that when you're first starting. Everybody wants to start. Not good because it's too precise. It's a whole lot better if you start with something like tic-tac-toe. And the hard part is that all your life you've looked at where you're writing, and now you have to get used to looking up here, so it's eye-hand coordination that's tricky. And you can learn to write underneath it. I have a lot of people who do their banking under it, but that is something that you kind of work up to. You have to build up your tolerance again for reading if you haven't been reading for a while. I see a lot of people, a lot of retired people with macular degeneration, which usually the 2 things you've had to give up because of macular degeneration are reading and driving, because your macula is the center of your eye, and so where you've lost your vision is right in the center. So being able to do this really helps them. A lot of people just want to stay independent in their own homes, and so to be able to see to read their mail is really critical. These devices are called video magnifiers. You also hear them referred to as CCTVs for closed circuit television. They kind of got away from that. It's the same technology that you see for security surveillance, except they've put a zoom lens on it and put your distance closer instead of looking across the store at something.